The thing that bothers people the most when they are manifesting is the part where they think they need to wait for their result. Waiting causes the most confusion, it causes the most suffering, it causes limerence in some people. All in all, waiting for anything never feels good, and it's actually pretty detrimental to your manifestation process if you are finding yourself really stuck in a waiting for it kind of phase. So today we're going to give you some tips, some reminders to get you out of waiting when you're manifesting. And these things we're going to talk about today, they are pretty important because, as I just said, if you are waiting at all, and what that really means is you're checking the 3D for your results, you're asking where is it, you're looking at time, you're judging time, and you're saying to yourself, oh, well, I've been manifesting this thing for X amount of time so far, why don't I have a result yet? All of those things are contributing to you not having your manifestation and therefore waiting for your manifestation. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of why you're waiting, is because you're not having it. So we're gonna get deep into it today. And very quickly, before we fully dive into this topic, I'm gonna quickly introduce myself to any of you who don't know me yet. My name's Genevieve. I'm a spiritual teacher, a manifestation coach, an energy worker, and I'm here to make manifestation a lot easier for you, clearer for you, try to address some of the nuances of manifestation that sometimes people need help with. So if you're here and you like my style of coaching, if you like the way that I talk about these things, there are all kinds of links below to different courses you can do with me, or you can do private coaching with me. There are lots of resources available for you down in the description of this video. And there's also so much free content on this channel, so I very much encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and explore all of the free stuff on this channel to get all that you can out of this. Okay, so let's dive into this. The first thing I want to acknowledge is that this feeling of waiting that you have, this feeling of waiting for results, it is coming from a false sense of separation within your ego. Your ego, which is the thing that you primarily experience 3D life through, your ego was built for separation consciousness. That's kind of what the 3D is all about. It's all about this illusion that I'm over here, this camera's over there, there's a wall over there. Everything's kind of separate and compartmentalized. And the ego is great for that. It helps us survive in this 3D world. And since that's what we're used to primarily experiencing reality through, it makes sense that it takes us some time to switch from separation consciousness to trusting universal or God consciousness. God consciousness, which is what your operant power higher self knows, God consciousness knows that everything is one. There is no separation. Your desire is not separate from you. And waiting comes as a result of you thinking that your desire is separate from you. Therefore, you're waiting for it because you think it's somewhere out here in the 3D world, and you're waiting for it to be delivered, and you don't have it until it's been physically delivered to you. But universal oneness consciousness, and that is the consciousness that all laws of manifestation work through. Manifestation wouldn't work if it wasn't for the oneness of our consciousness. So universal oneness consciousness says that you are whatever you think you are right now. You are experiencing whatever you think you're experiencing right now. So if you have a desire for something or someone, that desire is only as far away from you as you perceive it to be. The physical reality showing it to you or not is totally meaningless. So you're not waiting for the 3D reality to give you anything, because you know the 3D reality only has as much meaning as you give it. So just because your SP, your specific person, isn't texting you right that moment, you have choice in what you're still claiming in this moment. Are you claiming and identifying with, oh my God, it's been so long, my SP hasn't messaged me and therefore I don't have it. Oh my God, now I'm spiraling about it. Is that what you're claiming and identifying with? Or are you claiming, it doesn't matter what my SP is physically doing or not doing right now. I know that my SP is so in love with me, or whatever it is that you want to know in that moment. This is really key to your manifestation practice, because you do need to make the paradigm shift from separation consciousness to oneness consciousness. And if you keep thinking and checking and putting a lot of emphasis on what is the 3D doing? Is it mirroring me yet? Is it validating me yet? If you're doing that, yeah, you're in suffering because you feel like you don't have it, and your manifestation probably isn't working all that well right now. Because remember this fundamental principle of manifestation. Physical changes in your reality are a result of who you are being. Who are you being? What are you identifying with? What are you always assuming is working for you no matter what? And so here's a clear way to know if you've accidentally slipped into waiting separation consciousness as opposed to oneness, I already have it consciousness. The minute you start asking, what am I getting right now? The minute you start asking, what am I getting right now? You are in waiting separation consciousness. If you notice you're asking yourself that, if you're checking the 3D and asking, well, where is it? What am I getting? Where's my result? Where is it? Any questions like that, those are waiting, I don't have it questions. Those are coming from your old ego that perceives through separation. When you notice you're asking those kinds of questions, like, what am I getting right now? Where's my result right now? This isn't working because I don't see it right now. Whenever you're doing that, instead, go, whoa, pause, not doing that anymore. And instead ask yourself, wait, who am I being right now? Because who you are being, who you are genuinely being right now, is what is going to cause the next thing to manifest. So ask yourself, who am I being right now? Am I being and just allowing myself to accept that I am just this loved, amazing, healthy, shown up for, pursued person? Am I being someone that can just accept that that's who I am right now? Or, oh, am I being kind of an older version of me that's looking for outside validation, that's waiting for something or someone to come validate me? Because that version of me that's waiting for some validation from the physical reality, that is, again, the old me. That is the separation consciousness me, the one that doesn't get it, that my desire is mine right now. It's truly a perception shift that I need to make, that my desire is mine right now, and all I need to do is accept that it is mine right now. It really is that simple. And then there is no waiting, because if you are really being, if you're genuinely accepting and being, whoa, I am so loved. I am so pursued. I am just so chosen. I'm speaking kind of in relationship terms right now. So let's roll with that example. And let's say you're manifesting your SP or any type of relationship, and you are just like, wow, I really just know. I just know that I am so shown up for. I am so chosen. I am so pursued. And your focus is always going back to that. It is always going back to that. And as I always say, it's not that you need to perfectly believe it, because this is a practice, and this is kind of a big paradigm shift that a lot of you are having to make, especially if you have spent a lot of time feeling very comfortable in an odd way with not being chosen and not being shown up for. And I say comfortable because, yeah, when you're in like rejection consciousness, it literally becomes comfortable and even weirdly addicting to keep staying in this like victim, like, well, I'm not chosen and I'm never shown up for and I'm always rejected. It's just comfortable to keep identifying that way because you're just so used to it. It's just so familiar. So I'm just saying that because it's gonna take a lot of focus. It's like working out. Like you're gonna take a lot of focus to get more used to get more comfortable with this new identity, this new reality where it's like, oh, actually, I am so chosen. Like, whoa, right now, can I just like step into the version of myself that's like, oh, so relationships are easy for me. Or, oh, I do always get the person that I want to be with. And you don't even need to know exactly what that feels like or exactly how to believe in it. Because as I've been saying a lot, it's not about believing this. It's just that you go back to that choice a lot where you're like, wait, what about this other choice? Can I focus on this instead right now? Instead of waiting and wondering if I'm gonna get a text or a message soon, can I bring myself back to, oh, I'm chosen right now. I'm so loved right now. Can you just like in this moment with me in this video, just like try to step into, oh, I'm so loved and supported right now. Like really just let yourself almost like wrap yourself up with that identity like a nice little blanket you're covering yourself with. This is what it means that your desire is not separate from you. And this is also why we say in manifestation law of assumption land that there is no one to change but self. You're not supposed to be concerned with changing physical reality. Your only concern, 100% concern is only about changing your own perceptions. This is why a lot of people, myself included, say, take emphasis off the physical results, because the more you're obsessed with physical results, and I totally get it, that's what brought you here. That's what brought you to this side of the internet, is you wanted really bad, you wanted a physical change in reality, and you will get that. But ironically, that physical result comes most likely and more quickly when you're de-emphasizing the physical result as if it's so important and it's gonna save you and you can't move on with your life until you get the physical result. When that is de-emphasized and instead more emphasis is going on to, wait, who am I thinking I am right now? Like, really ask yourself, the moment you go into waiting mode, like, snap yourself out of it and be like, who the fuck do I think I am right now? Am I going back to being the version of me that's like sad and waiting and thinking that I need a text from someone just to like lift my mood? Or am I gonna choose, actually, everything is working out for me right now? And this can be a good moment to rampage. There's another video on this channel about anger and how if you can channel your anger or your frustration with the manifestation process, if you can channel that frustration and anger into a rampage that's like, you know what, I am not accepting this version of myself anymore, this version of my life anymore. I am channeling that frustration into, I am so loved. I don't care what the 3D is doing. I am so loved. I am so shown up for, I am so chosen. And it's almost like you're using that frustration and anger to empower yourself and make a really firm boundary for yourself of like, we are not going back to being the version that's like trying to manifest and trying to be good at this, but oh, it's so hard to manifest and everything's so difficult and I'm trying so hard and I'm not getting any results. You cannot be that version of you and then wonder why you're not getting results, because that version of you wouldn't get a result. The version of you that thinks that manifesting is hard and it's just so much effort and you've just been doing it so long. I get it. Some of you have had that real experience, but if you keep identifying with that experience, then yeah, you're going to get more of the same. So again, this is why it really all comes back to you asking yourself this question: who am I being right now? Genuinely ask yourself, who am I being right now? It's okay if I feel feelings. Feelings are fine to feel. But despite the feelings, or with the feelings that I have, can I make another choice in how I'm identifying? Can I make another choice in how I'm perceiving myself and perceiving reality right now? And that should instantly snap you out of waiting, because again, your desire is not out there. It's not separate from you and you're over here trying to manifest, waiting for it to come to you. Your desire is fully with you right now. It is fully within you. All you have to do is accept, okay, it is done right now. I do have it right now. And you make that choice again and again and again until it becomes your dominant choice. Yes, it's done right now. Yes, it's done right now. Yes, I do have it. Wow, I do have it. Wow, I'm so grateful that I do have it. And even if the 3D reality is doing nothing, although I guarantee there's always movement behind the scenes. I've had this with every single manifestation I've had, where even when I couldn't see something at the time that I was, manifesting it, later I would always find out that there was movement behind the scenes. And I hear that so often with so many people. So always trust that even if you don't see anything moving or changing in your 3D reality right now, it completely doesn't matter. Stop giving it meaning. Stop giving time meaning. Keep your focus 100% on yourself and who are you choosing to be moment to moment to moment, because that is what then results in a more solid change in physical reality. Part of the reason I'm making this video today on this topic is because I had something come up in a private client call the other day, and obviously anonymous, but this client mentioned to me that basically she was a little bit resistant to going back to doing some affirmations in her manifestation practice because she had a perception that in the past affirmations didn't work. And after talking to her a little bit more about this, I realized that she thought that because she was still doing affirmations from a place of waiting. She was doing affirmations as a means to an end instead of an end in itself. And I'm bringing this up because this is a mistake so many people make when manifesting. It's almost like they're doing affirmations, but they're like affirming at their SP, or they're affirming at the 3D. Like if I just say this enough, kind of at the world, again, you're saying it in your head, but it's like you're not really doing it for you. Like you should be affirming for your own self. Like every time you say your affirmation, and all an affirmation is simply your chosen thought, your chosen identification. And every time you say that affirmation, it's not for the 3D. Like if you say it enough times, the 3D just magically changes. You're saying it for you. You're saying it for you right now to be like, oh yeah, right now I have that. So I'm bringing this up just in case any of you watching this have also had this experience of trying a technique, especially one like affirming, and then letting your ego kind of like damn that technique or say, oh, that technique doesn't work. When really, it's not that the technique wasn't working, it's just that you might not have been identifying with the technique in the right way. I'm saying this because it's a subtle but very important distinction to make. That you can't be manifesting as a means to an end. Again, what that means is if you're trying to manifest something, if you are, okay, I'm gonna do these affirmations, I'm gonna do them, and then I'll get my thing. And that's a very common mindset that most people have when they start manifesting. But it's, again, it's trying to use the technique to get something as opposed to using that technique for your own change. Because the physical manifestation is a result of you changing, you accepting this new idea. So when you say your affirmation, and let's say, oh, your affirmation right now is that SP loves you so much. You say your affirmation, SP loves me so much, and that's it. That's the end. It's not a means to an end. Like, oh, I say that enough times and then I get something. It's, I said it. It's true. I got it. That's it. I'm not waiting for the result now. It's like, I said it. It's true. I got it right now because I said it, because I claimed it right now. It's true. I'm going to keep saying it so that I keep deepening in, yep, I got that. I got that. I got that. I have so much focus on, I got that. So just be aware of this subtle thing that I'm saying, because if you are kind of, again, affirming like at the 3D, like your energy is kind of almost more projecting out, like affirming to try to control the outside world, that is when it looks like, oh, affirming didn't work. I affirmed a bunch of times and, oh, the 3D didn't do anything. Well, it's like, well, you were probably affirming in a more separation consciousness kind of mindset, when really the manifestation happens when you accept, oh, that's done right now. I said that affirmation, it landed, that's done now. Nothing to look for, nothing to wait for. It's done. It's done right now. I have it right now. That just felt important to share here because I was thinking if that client had that kind of a subtle, resistance to affirming, I bet there's a lot more of you out there too who maybe, and I feel like affirming is probably the one that people are most resistant to. And again, for the very reason that maybe in the beginning of your manifestation journey, you were obsessed with affirmations, maybe you were doing a ton of affirmations and it looked like they didn't work. But actually it might have also been too that you were doing too many affirmations. There's a lot of things that people can sometimes do wrong with affirmations. Maybe I should make a whole nother video about that. But the bottom line is actually with affirmations, keep it very simple. Like have just a few affirmations about the topic you are manifesting. And again, the key is that when you say it, you are saying it in this light, accepting way. We're like, yep, I guess that's true. I've said that. I've repeated it. I guess that's true. I'm now just going to accept that it's true. Again, you don't need to feel it super strong. It's not that you need to like really feel it like, oh, I just believe it so much. It's not that. It's just that you are practicing accepting every day. Your focus goes back to, okay, I guess I accept that this is true. I guess I accept that this is true. I guess I accept that this is true. And then again, you are de-emphasizing physical proof to validate you. That is really key. So I hope this video helped you a lot today, helped you snap out of any waiting stuff. Remember to ask yourself this question: am I asking what am I getting, or am I asking who am I being? Because to be in the right mode for manifesting, you've got to be asking yourself, who am I being, not what am I getting? Paradoxically, ironically, you will end up getting stuff a lot faster the more that you de-emphasize the getting and you're staying in being. All right, that is it for today. Let me know your comments, your questions, whatever's coming to your mind. Feel free to put it down in the comments below. And as I said earlier in this video, there are all kinds of links in the description for different courses that I offer, or if you want to do private coaching with me to talk about your situation, your life that you're dealing with, and how to manifest, your thing specifically. So check out all the links, check out all the other videos, and I will see you guys in my next one here on this channel. All right, bye.